3.5 hours a day. That's the amount of time that American millennials spend on their phone each day. And most of that time is spent on social media apps. Now, my question was, what benefits could you receive by stepping away from social media for 30 days? You know, would I be more focused? Would I be more productive? Would I get, would I be happier? Would I be more anxious? What would happen? Now, I tried this experiment where I took my phone and I would literally, if I went on errands, I would leave it at home. I deleted all social media apps from my phone. I turned off all notifications on my phone from even things like email, and I would just have zero social media on my phone. Now, the first few weeks were really hard, especially the first few days were really hard. I would walk out of the house and I'd do the 3-pat check, which guys know what this is. If you know what the 3-pat check is, when you walk out the door, say, I do, in the comments below. But basically, I check to make sure I have my keys, my wallet, my phone. And I would go out and I just have this weird feeling. I'd say, oh, wait, where's my phone? And it was really discomforting at first. And I also just found myself just reaching for my phone and just taking it out and looking to see if I had any messages or any notifications or anything on my phone, but realizing that there was no social media apps for me to look at. You know, I'd take my phone and I'd scroll through the different screens and there would be nothing for me to do. And I just would put my phone back in my pocket and realize I couldn't check any social media things. And it was also like kind of intriguing to me, the fact that it is such an addiction without even thinking, without just sitting on the toilet, I'd reach in my pocket. I just keep pulling out my phone just to look at it and then realize I had nothing to look at it. And I realized it's such a compulsive behavior. It's really taken over, it had taken over my life in the way an addiction would. Now, this was especially challenging for me because a lot of my business is actually done through social media. I have a large YouTube channel and, I interact with a lot of people on a number of different social networks in order to run my business. So it made it a little bit more challenging, but still it was an experiment. Can I run my business without it on my phone? What I found was that it was very easy to run my business without my phone. What I usually do is I message a lot of people back on Facebook or on YouTube. On my phone, I answer comments, I engage with my audience, and not being able to do that didn't really detract anything from my business. In fact, what I realized was that by turning off all these distractions, I ended up being a lot more productive and getting a lot more time to be focused on different tasks and behavior. I've really relied on this as a crutch. Whenever a task gets hard, I would end up reaching for my phone and checking through stats or messages or stuff like that. So I kind of used it as a crutch whenever I was feeling a little scared of doing something, or I was like, oh man, I have to do this activity again in my business and like not looking forward to something. I would use my phone as a crutch, or I'd check it and find a distraction or find something to respond to and put off doing the things I knew I needed to do. Any of these behaviors ring true to you, type in I do in the comments below, because I believe this happens to everybody. I believe this is something, or not everybody, but I believe it's a big problem in our society. It's kind of a catch-22 with what I teach people to do. I teach people how to use social media to make money, but the kind of double-edged sword there is by joining all these social networks, you might get sucked into them and you might end up being a consumer. The social networks are built to suck you in. They're built to get you intrigued. They're built to show you what you want to see. They're built to show you a picture or a video or a post or something that inflames you or gets you reading it or gets you watching it or gets you looking at it and gets you engaging more in it so that you stay on their social network. That's their goal, is your attention. All these social networks are in a war for your attention. And running a business off of social media and also being a teacher, teaching people how to use social media to make money, it's difficult because you have to use it. It's like making a deal with the devil. You have to use them to make money, but at the same time, you can't let them. They're trying to get you. They're trying to get your attention. So it is very difficult. And being so enmeshed in social media, it's been a big thing, but it's been highly beneficial quitting social media. And I think just a lot better for my quality of life. It's almost odd sometimes. I'm sitting at a restaurant and, I'm eating and I'm like, I don't have my phone to distract me. Because usually if I'm eating alone somewhere, I'm kind of messing around on my phone, kind of looking for things to do, but I don't have anything to do, so I'm forced to kind of notice my surroundings and notice, what's going on. Look at people or listen into conversations, people watch. And I find that's been actually a largely positive experience. It also relates very closely to what I believe, life should be like. I believe technology is a tool to help us make money. Life is not meant to be in technology. Life is meant to be lived with people and with nature, and not with technology. And if you agree with me, just type in the comments, life is meant to be lived. Because I really believe, nature and people are how we were built. It's just how we're hardwired. We're humans, we're animals. Whereas technology is built to suck us into a machine. It's built to try to bring us into it, rather us using it as a tool. Social networks are not social. They're, in fact, the most antisocial people are the biggest users of social networks. So it's one of those things, but let me know if you, and I'm going to issue a challenge to you. Before I issue a challenge to you, I invite you to subscribe to this channel, set up the notifications, bells, and leave a comment let me know what your thoughts are on this video. But my challenge to you, and say challenge accepted if you're going to take me up on this, quit social media for 30 days. Delete all of the apps from your phone. Delete all the social media apps from your phone. Delete all notifications. Turn them all off. 30 days, 1 month of your entire life. Turn them off. Email notifications included. Turn off all notifications. Maybe if you need, your phone to ring, leave that on. But turn everything else off and just see how it affects your quality of life. It's a big change. And some people get angry. My wife, one of the hardest things was my wife got angry at me and she said, you're so hard to reach. I said, just call me. She said, no, I text. I said, well, you're going to have to call me. That turned into a big discussion. But I can't be interrupted by text all day. And that was one of the hardest things to overcome, is that pushback from my own wife. But she could call. So that's how it is. And I continue to do this experiment, and it works out well. So let me know if you accept my challenge in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you in my future videos. This concept, the productivity thing, it's been super helpful to me because, as an entrepreneur, it's hard to manage your time. But most of my videos on this channel are focused on making money as an internet entrepreneur. So let's get it. Get those hours back, 3.5 hours. Take those hours back, take back control. See you in the next video.